Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching Ghaza Massacre. We're trying to highlight some of the things and situations that are happening there in Gaza, and just to do our part as from our Islamic media to highlight some of the things that are not seen by the eyes of the people of the world. The last caller didn't get my question. If this massacre or genocide, as you want to put it, is going to build more fear into the hearts of Palestinians, or it's going to make them more courageous?
Well, let us put it in a very objective way. The Palestinian people has been occupied and for more than 50 years. And it is their right to resist this occupation by any means. So I don't think the Palestinian will be offended. On the contrary, they have the right to resist. And I do know that might create right. But at the same time, right mobilize the person or the nation that has it to go on in order to achieve the right, to reach the right. So they have the morality, they have the religious basis, they have the historical basis and the legitimacy to go on in resisting the occupier. This is their right. And I don't think this feeling of having a right will mobilize anyone to get their right by any means. So I don't think it will lead to more fear.
Are you saying that it's going to lead to more negotiations, or it's going to lead to a more what we call the third intifada?
Well, in my point of view, the Palestinian people has been in intifada since 1948. So the first intifada that started in the 80s has its roots back to the beginning. So they have the Palestinian people are always in intifada, is always in intifada. And I don't think that the intifada will stop. The third intifada might face some problems because of this division between West Bank and Gaza. But if these two parties are going to be united and mobilize all resources in order to get the right of self-determination for the Palestinians, because this is a real dilemma. It is not a humanitarian issue in Gaza. The issue in Gaza is not humanitarian. It is political. It is their right to get their right of self-determination. So they have to be united, they have to mobilize their resources in order to do the third intifada. But at the same time, doing the intifada and doing resistance doesn't mean that you have to give up negotiation. Because both tracks are very beneficial for solving the issue, for solving the Palestinian issue. So intifada, resistance and negotiation at the same time. Both of them can be done. And I do think in the because of these massacres, actually world opinion now is ready for helping and for endorsing and for promoting Palestinian question. And I do think now the morale among the world opinion, public opinion, is very high to support the Palestinian, because what Israel did yesterday and what is doing today and what is going to do tomorrow. So I do think this is a very important moment. This is a momentum that must be taken advantage of by the Palestinian Authority, by the Palestinian people, in order to do both intifada and negotiations.
Do you think the negotiation really makes sense with Israel, when they are forced always to break the negotiation?
I do think what I'm saying is that if the Palestinian people are united and resisting both of them, and at the same time negotiating, they will achieve something. But negotiation without resistance means nothing at all. So both you should use your right, as the international law is granting it, and the international law is granting the resistance, the right to resist the occupier by force, by using force. But this force must be directed towards the occupier, towards the military combatant troops in the occupied lands. So by doing that, I do think that the international stage is ready for accepting the diplomacy, the Palestinian diplomacy, and for that diplomatic attack If we are talking the third intifada, we must also talk about the diplomatic attack, and must be built on this kind of momentum. Because this is the way that we can address our issue to the Americans, to the Europeans, through pressurizing the public opinion now. This is the right moment.
Yes. What are some of the aspects we can take from Islam, Doctor, in terms of solving the situation?
In solving the situation, I don't think that this is the time for negotiation. This is my personal opinion, because now the Ummah is under attack, and Israel itself actually doesn't listen to the voice of reason and wisdom here everywhere. So from my perspective, that there are a lot of homework that must be done by the Palestinian brothers and also by the Muslim Ummah itself. And the first point, that we have a legacy, that it is Iman, it's faith in our hearts, and hope in Allah's mercy, hope in good expectation of Allah. إن تكونوا تألمون فإنهم يألمون كما تألمون وترجون من الله ما لا يرجون. If you are injured, they are also injured like you. But you expect from Allah what they do not expect.
Yes.
أُعْلُ هُبَلْ, when he said, Abu Sufyan after the battle of Uhud, he said, أُعْلُ هُبَلْ, be greater Hubal. And the Prophet ﷺ said, answer him back. Said, what should we say? Say, Allahu A'la wa Ajal. Allah is greater. Allah is the most great. They said, it is a day for a day, a battle for a battle. Some people are killed from you and others from us. And then the Prophet ﷺ told the Sahaba to answer him back loud and say, قَتْلَانَا فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَقَتْلَاكُمْ فِي النَّارِ. Our martyrs are destined for the Jannah, the garden of paradise, but yours are for the blazing hellfire. There is something which is so important also in this issue, which is that referring to those attacks and to the power force gives us an implication that the Israeli mentality is actually insolvent of finding a solution for the problem, and Hamas and the people in Palestine, they have a great impact on the community over there, and they succeeded to a great extent. Yes, there are some sufferings that going on. Also from the Islamic perspective, from my point of view, that there are a lot of homework which is on the shoulders, put on the shoulders of the Muslim leaders. And I would like to emphasize on that concept, because this is not an Arab issue, it is an Islamic issue for all the Muslims. So there is a lot of homework which is expected from the leaders who lost, actually the people lost hope in those, and the Muslim leaders all over the Muslim world nowadays, and they are expecting more from them. There are a lot of homework also